both teams.
Orange versus Na'Vi.
Thank you very much, James, and welcome back, everybody, local or around the world tuning in. We are back for game number 2. Orange going up against Na'Vi in the lower bracket final. Laga, game number 1. Orange, I just want to say, controlled. Amazing.
They had amazing control, and they used the Furion, the Nature's Prophet, so well in that game. And I want to just head over straight into a draft for this game. Last game we just saw it, and we're all excited for this one. And we see first ban on the Chen, as James mentioned there. Also, they still ban out Visage, as Melk predicted, and now Nature's Prophet goes the way of Ohio again.
See, I was wondering about that. I know I realized too our mics are live inside of Dota TV before they're live here, but it's like, where is the Darkseer? Was he going to be picked up? Because Orange, like, they got these amazing combinations with the Darkseer. We saw it with the Visage, just with this extra kind of stunner kind of combination, but they want to have this split push, and I'm not surprised by it. Like, I've cast a lot of Na'Vi games in my time, and I know Na'Vi's one of the biggest problems is they love to team fight, they love to push, and they hate to go backwards. And going backwards is something that Nature's Prophet makes you do so damn well. And that's what happened in the last game. Na'Vi had to make a choice. They came out, they lost so much life on their tier 3 towers. When the time came, tier 3 towers and racks just crumbled beneath them.
Ohio is an insane Nature's Prophet player, and the way he forced Na'Vi around in the last game was just crazy. But that was also mainly attributed to the fact that they were winning the fights. Like, Orange were already controlling the fights, and then it's easier to push your enemy around. Maybe now Na'Vi, now with a Lifesteal Puck combination, they can come out a little bit ahead in the fights, and it's also really scary to split push against Puck and Lifestealer.
Yep.
So we see Bane being picked up, Darkseer being banned out by Orange, and the band's heading over to Na'Vi.
I'm wondering if Puppy should look to just make sure Denny gets a good start too. Like, you're talking about the Lifestealer and Puck combination. It's great for catching out Prophet, but you're going to need a Blink Dagger, and Orb isn't enough to get yourself in there. But if you do get that silence off, then you'll have the damage with the Lifestealer, and you can catch Prophet out, at least make him fear to TP around that map. But he needs that Blink Dagger, which means he needs a very good start to his lane. Not an easy thing if you ever get a Bane walk past, just enfeeble you while he's just roaming past you. Like, this is something which they've got to be careful about. I kind of almost wish like they didn't pick up their Puck this early on and reveal their mid-solo, because right now you got Lifestealer and Puck on the field.
They have
if we go with what's last, that should be a Vorse on the Lifestealer, but we know that Funnick has played the Lifestealer before. Even Funnick's played Puck in the past as well, on a safe lane while they run an aggressive tri-lane.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Na'Vi are thinking so long right now, because the first ban, maybe they just want to use the entire time of their first ban here, but they're already into reserve time. They should ban out the TA. In one of these two bans, they need to remove a TA. So they might as well just do it in the first, because it's obvious that they will. Yeah. I really feel that they're not going to give Mushi a TA against Puck scenario mid.
No,
it's not going to happen.
That would just turn Puck into food if that's going to be their scenario.
Yeah, and that's a weakness that Orange would exploit if Puppy would show it.
Yep. But Puppy's taking a lot of time, including his extra time, to get this ban out. Like, there's still a lot of discussion going on inside the box. He's only got like 11 seconds more, and now, okay, so Nyx Assassin will be the ban out. Orange did really make a lot of use of him, especially in Spy Carapace. That really screwed around with Na'Vi's team fights.
They played nice. They played really nice, and solo mid or support, it doesn't matter. These guys know how to use that Nyx very well. And we see the entire of Orange standing and talking around Mushi as well.
10 seconds remaining.
And we already waiting for the next pickup. So they have one supporter and they have their offlaner. They need a mid, they need a carry, and they need a second support.
Yep.
That's for certain. Those are the heroes that they need. And there we see Ohio, the Nature's Prophet himself.
That he is, man. That he is.
He plays it to equal strength as Bulldog, I would say. He plays it amazingly.
Turn to ban.
I love this ban out by Orange. We talk about Puppy's Chem, and I know there was a talk about it. I think Malk actually said that there hasn't been a single game in the International so far where Enchantress has played up against a Chen, but you could be using Enchantress as maybe a substitute for it, and it's not going to happen. And okay, so
turn to pick.
With that pickup,
it's fully possible now. If Orange wanted, they could play TA. There is one disable on Na'Vi, and that is Puck Sulti. There's always the silence as well, which is amazing. But in terms of laning, Puck gets so shut down that his impact against the TA is not that strong in the game.
Yep.
And I know that I'm kind of coming back towards this all the time, but it's very, very, almost extremely
10
rare to
seconds
see a puck
remaining.
pick up that early and then not remove it. So
Yeah. But
Na'Vi,
you can understand it
5
a little bit
seconds
with the
remaining.
Magnus ban after what KYXY did yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's understandable, but as far as like
reserve
basic
time.
logic of a draft goes, you're right. It's
it's
a little
high
bit warped.
respect for sure, but maybe Na'Vi have something up their sleeve. Maybe they have some solution towards this. Maybe they even gonna go for something like a Venomancer and roam around a lot with it. Venomancer lifesteal being a very nice combination. Of course, Veno shutting down that TA. Lesh,
Navi's
look
turn
at that
to pick.
combination. They see
Nightmare into stun into Prophet to come in. You got a lot of damage from Prophet as well with the ultimate. And that's just with the like offlaner and 2 supports. And Orange have kept their 2 cores completely secret.
They have. And against Puck, against Weaver, these heroes, if you get your Bane close enough to Nightmare them, and then you follow up with the Leshrac stun, if anyone else is there as well, that hero will be dead. And that's
Yep.
a scary,
10
scary thing.
seconds
Same thing
remaining.
goes for Lifesteal even. Of course, all of these heroes have good escape mechanisms
5
that can be
seconds
used before they
remaining.
get slept,
Yep.
but they always got to be very, very on the edge and ready.
And now Na'Vi will
Orange's
take the
turn to
Naga
pick.
Siren. Orange, because they went for a different support route. So they get the Naga Siren, they get a lot of sleep. That's going to work nicely with the Puck for the Dream Call. As far as the perfect synergy between the Weaver, the Lifestealer as well, I'm not 100% sure about that one. And the secondary support as well from Na'Vi. It kind of feels that with their lineup, they don't know what's coming. They may just go greedy. They've already taken out 2 of the junglers. If
10
Mushi doesn't ban it, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick it, but the Enigma is the first thing that flags in my head right now.
Yeah, I'm looking
5
over to
seconds
Na'Vi and I'm
remaining.
thinking it's a very nice pickup. Naga Siren's a strong hero in general, and we also have the fact that Naga, Tidehunter being picked up.
Navi's
So the big
turn to
5-man
ban.
team fight is always there for Orange, and they have Nature's Prophet. It's a scary thing when they go together. But coming
to
back
pick this up as well before you're going to be seeing like Rubik as well as now Enigma are both available when you got a good team fight
10
set up from
seconds
Na'Vi.
remaining.
That's very true. And
Orange's
Na'Vi,
turn
they have
to
a good
ban.
team fight set up, but they have Weaver and Lifestealer who are not really team fighters before they have a lot of items. Of
Yep.
course, they are right clickers and carries with, no little weaknesses, I would say, in
Navi's
general, being so
turn
strong
to
at both
pick.
fighting and escaping.
Yep.
But in terms of team fight, they cannot contest Orange at this moment.
Orange are on the same path as me. They do not want that Tide Ravage stolen. Rubik is out, and Puppy, well, he didn't leave himself a lot of time with this because of that very delayed ban on the Nyx Assassin. He's only got 13 seconds of extra time, so he's under pressure for this last pickup. And just remember, if Na'Vi lose this game, they
10
take 3rd
seconds
position at
remaining.
the International. They miss their first ever grand final of
5
the International.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, and this is make or break for Na'Vi, being 1 game down against
Reserve
Orange.
time.
Yep.
And their last
10
pickup,
seconds
we will see it in
remaining.
10 seconds. There it is.
It's going to be Crystal Maiden as their
Orange's
last one.
turn to pick.
So it does give another team fight element, not the one I was thinking about, but it's definitely going to be just as strong. It's going to be the big ultimate of the Crystal Maiden, not to mention her Nova in lockdown with a Frostbite. She can control every single hero here, and very few of these heroes from Orange will be looking for BKBs, so all the stuns can be used.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden with some good positioning, she can be so lethal. We've seen it several times in the tournament played by Ake,
10
or
seconds remaining.
even we've seen it in several games, and we see Alchemist now being picked up by Mushi.
This is a very aggressive line with Mushi. Like, you got Leshrac, Bane, and Alchemist together. That's almost aggressive tri-lane in itself. It's like, you've got already with 1 set up and then 2 follow-up stuns to give you the time to do that kind of damage. And then you got Ohio's for Nature's Prophet, as well as KYXY on that Tidehunter. I mean, it's still interesting to see how the lanes are going to end up being, because who do they really want to go out? It's Dendi on the puck, so he's going to be in the solo mid. Finding to be a long lane Weaver or a safe lane with Naga CM and Lifestealer, the possibility of aggressive tri-lanes. These teams have so many options as far as laning.
They do. There's a lot of opening, and you could even go for just having safe laning either the Alchemist
10
or the Tide,
seconds
doesn't really
remaining.
matter, and put both Leshrac and Bane into a more roaming position
5
where they will
seconds
control the lanes, both the mid and the safe lane. But we will see how Orange are going to play it out. And I really like the fact that against the Weaver, they decide to go for such a stun-heavy lineup, and also Tidehunter is an amazing hero in terms of that ulti.
Prepare for battle.
All right, let's run through our lineups as we always do at the very, very start. So, starting on the safe lane at the bottom, it will be Havost as the live stealer heading up north. Puppey is currently moving up there as the Crystal Maiden. Down through the middle lane, it will be Dendi playing up the role as Puck. Funnick will be on the roll as the Weaver, who is also heading up towards that top lane. And that leaves our last one, Kuro, who is still back at base, basically giving company towards the Na'Vi Pharaoh. So over towards Orange, we will have KYXY taking up the role as Tidehunter. And looks like Bottle is definitely on his mind very early on. We'll have Net as the Bane, Extinct as the Leshrac, and that gives Mushi the hard farming role as the Alchemist. Already up with the Magic Stick and 6 tangos, so he's expecting a rough time on the lane. And that leaves our last one for Orange, who's back at base, Ohio, which will be the Nature's Prophet. And now they think the trees are scouted out that there will be an aggressive tri-lane up on top. They're going to run him on that bottom lane. He will not abandon the lane.
Yeah, interesting Magic Stick there. I mean, against Funnick on the Weaver, it's always nice to force out many invises and getting those charges going. But it's, I think they read that Na'Vi are going aggressive here, and so far they're right.
Yep, they were checking it to start with. You saw Nature's Prophet sitting back in the fountain. They waited till the trees moved out, and then they saw who was going to be up there and said, okay, now we're going to buy the items for it. They want to protect that 0-minute room, but it's going to be a haste room for Revorce. So free experience if you can bring down one of these trees, and you really should as well before they block up camps.
He will. Haste Rune and Culling Blade, he's going to kill off this tree. So killing it off before it blocks anything, probably going to get the second one to it before he heads into a lane.
Huge
so
experience.
Very nice start for Havost, getting a little bit extra gold here.
40 points of experience.
Amazing.
Oh, game-changing. Puppey, however, around the side. It's, oh, we're going to go Nightmare. Extinct's not going to get there in time to get the stun off. In fact, Funnick stole it. Mushi, long channel on the stun, holds Puppey back, but look at the damage from Funnick. Extinct, he goes down. Puppey, stunned twice, but draws first blood. And Kuro with the body block, the Riptide. They need more damage. They've got it. Puppey, it's going to be a double kill for the captain.
It's a huge start for Na'Vi.
That is possibly the best start they could have asked for an aggressive tri-lane. Level 2 up for Kuro, level 2 up for Puppey, and Funnick at level 2 as well. And Mushi, he cannot touch that lane with a 10-foot pole.
No, you cannot find any form of farm here. And Puppey, of course, has his boots, upgraded courier as well, so he's looking so happy on this Crystal Maiden. Did decide to go for Arcanora, just let everyone spam across the lanes.
I want to give such props to Funnick just then. When he stole that Nightmare, Leshrac basically waffed the stun. Couldn't see it coming as far as the steal of the Nightmare, threw out the stun, and then Na'Vi just said, well, wait, they've used Nightmare, they've used Leshrac stun, they got nothing left to control us. Let's just dive and go.
It was beautiful by Funnick because he didn't even steal it immediately. He waited a little bit till he saw the Leshrac come close enough to start up that stun, and then he stole it and allowed his teammate to just get away a little bit. So really beautiful.
Even the stun from Mushi, like both those stuns were focused on Puppey. The man who not only lived through it, but also got the double kill from it.
Yeah, Puppey looking strong.
The only thing is he's got himself a friend he doesn't want. Got to get rid of it out of the river.
Takes the last hits.
Yep.
He's a carry now.
At least Kuro's going to snipe out this Dark Troll Warlord, even use Riptide, but Nightmare. This time the stun. Oh, Funnick. He just did it twice, and now it's there. Mushi, quick stun on Kuro, but look at Funnick. Straight up on the other side. Puppey, he doesn't, well, he's just going to right-click it. Crystal Maiden, Puppey now, 3 kills on the captain, and he's going in for Mushi. Kuro, this time Extinct can connect the stun.
A really, really amazing start for Na'Vi here.
It's carry support.
Looking over to other lanes just for a quick bit, we see mid 13 for 1 up on KYXY against Dendi 10 for 3. So a little bit of an advantage going top. Just checking so they don't dive.
They're going to be okay, man.
And Havost safe laning against the Nature's Prophet as Lifesteer is not something he's in trouble with. So he has 20 last hits, topping that bottom lane really hard.
He's destroyed the farm of the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet at one point might be able to zone him out. If he's looking at phase boost, then it'll just be the physical DPS that will push him off the lane. And not to mention that he could also chase. But in this scenario right now is Havost is being the aggressor. Like, you don't even be aggressive with an ultimate orb. He's just walking in close and saying, just remember I'm here. I'm going to get every single last hit against you. Quelling Blade, of course, definitely helps with that.
Yeah, and also we will probably have face boots on Lifesteer so much before finishes them up on Fury. And I'm just going to keep my eyes on top lane really carefully.
Are they coming in closer again?
Yeah, they're standing close, so...
The funny thing is, though, it's not Na'Vi who's initiating up on this top lane.
Na'Vi are just beautiful.
They counter-initiate. They wait for the Bane to use the Nightmare, because if Na'Vi initiate in first, if they throw down like that Naga net, then you've got Orange there saying, look, we got Nightmare that's going to either protect somebody from a follow-up bit of damage, or we can just Nightmare you so you can't keep on coming in. They almost want it to that Orange initiate, and then Na'Vi say, now's our time to go. They're not under pressure to be the aggressors in this lane. Even with an aggressive tri lane, the ultimate irony, they are, in fact, the defenders in this lane just wanting to counter-initiate on Orange.
Yeah, and their counter-initiate is beautiful. Taking off the sleep and then chasing down, they have a lot of good spells to do so. This time trying a little bit to go aggressive with the Naga Siren, being a very fast hero.
That's just mind games. That's trying to zone him out right now. Oh, Dendi, he's in really close on KYXY. And then Nagash as well. Dendi's already used his silence, got phase shift as well as Orb available. He's really got to be careful with that damage.
Regen for KYXY as well in his bottle, so he can just regen up now after going like that.
That's the reason why he started spamming everything
again.
Nightmare. This time Kuro doesn't have help. Leshrac someone in. Bushy starts to channel it up too, and Kuro gets a Riptide, but gets stunned up pretty heavily here. But in comes Funnick. He wants the kill on net. He should be successful. Puppey's actually going to TP himself out to safety. No, he's not. Leshrac got the stun, and Ohio comes in to bring some help. Funnick's on the run here. He gets a double kill with the Chikuchi, and he runs east when Orange gets west.
And that was 4 heroes coming out from Orange just to bring that 2 for 2
Okay,
trade.
XY, he's got the Ravage. Kuro's TPing in. Puck throws the ulti. Phase shift's already down, and Kuro wants to try and fight up against this. Not quite sure. He's going to be careful on the edge of that. But KYXY is going to bottle up instead.
Yeah, danger for Kuro to try and fight against that Tide. He's too strong. We see Phase Boots now finish up on Mushi, so safe lane starting to go just a little bit better, but Funnick is looking really happy on this Weaver as well. 2-0 for free.
It's going to be ecstatic for his start. The fact that he can zone out Mushi like this, love it. Even his bugs managed to latch on Extinct at the same time. Once that time lapse is up, he'll be unstoppable. And then you'll see Puppey, as well as Kuro, rotate a lot more. Even if Kuro did TP in towards that middle lane, they want to find blood.
Yeah.
They've got to move themselves around the map and make sure that these the middle lane does get locked down, because Thailander, with that Ravage, like, you can never 100% know you're going to kill him off. It's very, very difficult to do so. Avorst, well, they don't need to help him. He's fine. They find him, TP out in time. Silence won't stop it.
Good TP.
Dire's middle
So that
tower
wasted
is under
a
attack.
little bit of skills and time committed from Na'Vi. But with that mana regen from Crystal Maiden, even having a Clarity, she can get back to full very fast.
They already channeling stun. They've popped to the concoction. Nightmare, they want to get on Puppey. He's with a lot of, well, actually no profit on, but bounces through. Mushi takes a lot of damage. You got the acid spray down on Funnick, being brain zapped up. Ohio, the damage, he did 2 hits on Kuro and he stopped. He stopped attacking.
He didn't have Phase Boots yet, so could not commit to that.
But they will commit to this top tower. And Kuro, he can pull the aggro down. He used the Salve, so now if he wants to, he can pull the aggro down. And Orange will back themselves up. They already got themselves a good couple of kills.
Nice, true. Some nice kills going the way of Orange, but still losing their Alchemist. He's not looking happy. 21 CS. We have 7 minutes in and 52 on Havorst on the safe lane free farm now. He missed a little bit by Furion being down there. Missed about, I don't know, 10 or something like that. But he's farming really amazingly, and since Furion left the lane, he's been just farming it out.
It's KYXY. Could be a little bit careful. Puppey's rotated. Is Kuro? Or, yep, they're making a move here. Funnick, or is he just trying to get himself in range of the lane? Looked to be the case. Every single move that Kuro's been making on this top lane just makes me feel aggressive. Like, Orange is just, they have to back themselves up. They have to look for the double pulse. They have to look for the control to slowly get themselves back into this. But then again, the advantage isn't too high. It's 2,000 to Na'Vi for gold as well as experience. When you got a hero like an Alchemist, that's not the be-all, end-all of Alakazam. And that, well, there he does. He gets ensnared up. Funnick wants to attack. Leshrac stun. Holds Funnick in position. Brains up. There's no mana for it. And now Alchemist loses stun up Funnick, and he gets it to that Dire Observer Ward. Sentry Ward allows him to do so. Naga pops the up. Prophet Oldman comes through before the time lapse is possible. And Kuro, I don't think he's quite sure how to get out of here, because he's got support. Ohio's in around the side. And now Tide, you can see him. He thought maybe the Ravage range would have been enough, but he didn't do it.
Yeah, it probably would not have. So good cancel there, because there's boots on that Naga Siren. 370 movement speed is very, very fast. So he realizes she gets away. Furion does have his entire Hand of Midas finished up now.
Yep. They picked up Weaver. They're going to be happy. They're going to be very, very happy. Might not be happy if KYXY is going to get silenced. He can't throw off the Ravage and the Coil. Well, it's going to hold him there. Now the Ravage will pop. He gets hit by the Coil as well. Wants to get back in range of the tower. Funnick gets enough damage.
KYXY getting killed off there, wasting the Ravage as well, so doesn't get anything. Of course, there was no counter gank available really right then. So that's a big kill. Nice rotation by Funnick going in and ganking mid. It's not often you see a Weaver do something like that.
A roaming Weaver. It's nice. It's nice, and it's a good combination for him.
Roaming
RP
Weaver.
is coming up towards the top lane. He's going to find Net, or I should say Net finds him. Mushy preps the stun. It's not Puppey. Leshrac follow-up stun. Puppey will go down right now, but Funnick damage over towards Net. Held with the Riptide from Koro. It's a 1-for-1 right now, and Prophet wants to TP himself in. Mushy, no real mana for him in Ohio. They won't find any kind of opening, and again, Prophet TPs for no advantage. Then he's going to come back in again, and instantly Orange bail, and this is the reason why. Observer Ward will scout him out coming in.
Yeah.
The first time a horse comes off his lane.
Nice little backing, and yeah, as you said, that's the first time he comes off his lane, and they've been forcing around this Furion so much. Last game, Ohio was controlling Na'Vi. This time, Na'Vi are forcing Ohio to come to his safe lane. And he's not finding too much, but he's doing good still. 2-0 for 2. So Ohio on top of his game.
Top tower is under attack.
Dendy's rotation, he won't stop until he finds a kill. He might get a little bit more than he bargained for if he wants to jump in on that middle lane though. And he pings him. He wants to go Mushy. He's trying to go for Puppey. Now the overcommitment. Where's that stun? Dendy on low life already. And life stealer Kuro, very low life. In fact, Dendy just shorted himself to the other side of the river. Now Avors comes out. Open wounds on Mushy. Nightmare makes it impossible for Avors. Now he does. Turns around. The stick touches Mushy. Does go down. Extinct. Trying as long as he possibly can to get that stun up on Avors. They've already thrown out the gush as well. Dendy, he wants to kill, and now with the orb damage ripped, Dive Stealer lays into him with the claws and gets a double kill for Revorst.
Yeah, meanwhile on bottom we just saw Funnick force back Nature's Prophet to TP to his base. So saving that tier 1 tower on bottom as well. It's pretty low HP, but nice job. Na'Vi doing a really fantastic job the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're really rotating nicely. Of course, that trial lane with the kills that happened with the double kill for them, that really gave them such momentum. But they've got to hold this. 4,000 in the experience, just over 3,000 in the gold. Mushy, though, he is going to approach the point where he can finally start leveling up that Greevil's Greed and get himself some big items. But if Na'Vi keep with the momentum, if they keep with their confidence, they push through tier 1 towers. Because still, I want to point out, like, they still haven't claimed a single tier 1 tower in this entire best of 3 matchup here in game number 2. So, in fact, I think the last game, K-Pop Tosis put it out as a stat just at the very end of the game. It was the first game that Na'Vi didn't take out a single tower that first game. And now, well,
rotation towards the top lane.
Kuro is dead.
And they will get this bottom tower, so Na'Vi not gonna have the same thing happen to him again.
But if you lose a hero as well as a tower, it's just not worth it. TP comes in, Leshrac stun, they already throw off the stun, and Mushy, he brings in Avors, and Avors wants to go, and it will be enough. Well, KYXY, Mushy's gonna finally get stunned, Funnick will come in to help out. Naga ball back so he can be part of this, and now KYXY frostbitten up by Puppey, and the Ravage will pop, hitting on a lot of them. In fact, Dandy getting stunned up by that Leshrac. The Tide will kick over, and then down to Extinct as well. It's a double kill for Dandy. And Na'Vi are now picking up the momentum in this game.
Yeah, also holding the tier 1 tower as well. Only losing out on a little bit there.
So they claim a tower, they claim return kills. They did have a buyback by the Naga, but
buyback by Kuro is basically like losing nothing at this point in the game. So Na'Vi are in a very firm lead ahead by more than 5,000
bottom tower
experience.
Ohio will TP himself back to base, and Avors will deny this bottom tower now. So Na'Vi will lose a tier 1 tower, but it will be a deny. He's got to clean up the rest of the creep wave before he can do so. The pings are also coming out, thinking about going on that top lane with Mushy. And there's the deny by Avors. And Dendy also, oh, that's Danger's own time. With a Blink Dagger now up on him. This combination, he's quite happy to show it too. He wants Orange to know that he has this Blink Dagger. And you're right, top lane, there's your snare. He got to the Chemical Rage, gonna look for a good stun, but Mushy holding as long as possible. He will go down here, KYXY comes in, there's no Ravage. There's a lot of damage to Kuro, but they already got what they wanted. They picked up the Alchemist.
So far, this Tidehunter pick has not worked out at all for Orange, and we're gonna see Na'Vi swing around a little bit here as well.
Dire's bottom tower.
And they're going to come in through the rear of him. And Extinct, he's free gold right there. Higher though, he might be even freer. Sprouts up. Is there going to be something to give him any kind of vision? Naga just throws the ulti to stop him from TPing out. There's one close by. Extinct wants to stun. In comes Will of Fiend's Grip. Up on Funnick. The puppy. No mana. He can't stop this. Kuro as well. Extinct, that eating damage was doing a lot of damage, but Kuro will go down. Funnick able to time-lapse out his damage. And Puppy running as a Crystal Maiden. Mushy will see him. Acid Spray into the stun. Avos coming in to help Puppy. Alive on 48. Mushy can't get the kill. Held in position. Net will pick him up though. Double kill for him. Will there be a kill on KOXY? Yes, you're right. Blink in for Dendi. Picking up the tide. Oh, wow. Dive. They're going to go on net. The Bucks come up. They get another one. And Extinct Funnick. You don't have the time lapse, but they got the damage and they kick him off. Diving past the tier 3 tower in a lane where the tier 1 is still standing.
And Mushi, they got going in as well.
Oh no. Oh wow. Another kill. Full team wipe. Na'Vi, after losing game number 1, they kick back in game number 2 and they kick back strong.
Yeah, they came back with a vengeance in this game. Looking ever so strong and just getting kills all over the place.
It's still not over yet. Like with we got 30 kills in 15 minutes. We're going 2 kills a minute right now. But Na'Vi, like they're diving in past through tier 3 towers when they have taken only 1 tier 1 tower on the entire map. Both teams have only taken that.
Yeah, that is Na'Vi right now.
Extinct and Net. You know, they want a bit of a crack at something, but so do Dendi and Puppy. Rotating around. Ohio will be the one they would like to try and find. Tier 1 tower will now go down the top lane. Of course, find that cash. Oh, they found Ohio. Dendi, Dream Coil. Gonna cancel the TP. They need more. Puppy comes in. But with the rift damage, Dendi finds another kill here.
And Dendi, we were talking about in the start of the game, if they secure a good start for Dendi, how is the game gonna go? Dendi is 6-0 and 5. Havost is 4-0 and 4. None of them have died a single time this game.
Even Weaver, man, like 2 deaths is fine when he has 11 assists on the Weaver. Involved in 17 out of the 21. That is just a very, very active Weaver. None of this, let's just sit back and wait for Lincoln Sphere. He's actually going straight into a BKB and only 100 gold away from it too.
It's a stellar performance so far by the entire of Na'Vi. Just playing so well, especially Puppy on that tri-lane. Or I should say Funnick even on that tri-lane in the early game, taking off the sleep and just playing back as Orange initiated. And they get a third tower.
Yep, all the tier 1 towers now lost for Orange. Now they want to try and fight, but then again, so does Dendi. And now with the smoke reveal, they realize who's coming up. Blinks in, goes for Net, and Net's gone. With Avos jumping out, the burst damage is just too much, and Avos wants to go for more. Chasing after KYXY, right behind him. Dendi's coming in front. Maybe he wants to go for more. Ravage will pop by KYXY, and Avos will stay with him. Funnick as well, Chikuchi through. Puck will get the kill. Dendi with another one. It's a chicken. Oh!
Look at Weaver. Look at Weaver.
No.
It's dead.
Dire's kill has been killed. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That is just not humane. Death to Corey is a TI3.
TI3, man.
And the TI2, the tier 2 tower will now go down in the middle lane.
The TI2 tower.
Now, that's just... it's all going down, man. It's all going down. I never saw this bloodshed of small, cute little things during TI2. And BKB fully done up, and I'm not surprised. Yeah, up to another like 1,200 gold. Is this really going to be a 17-minute and 30-second push inside the base? They're losing out on the towers though. Ohio, we know how great he was in the last game, split pushing, but a tier 1 tower for a tier 2 and damage to a tier 3 tower. That's not a worthwhile trade. Profit, no ultimate to hold him out just yet. The Hunter used the fortification instead. At the same time, Avos raged up.
Yeah, and I mean Na'Vi, they're so far ahead right now. They have a Mystic Staff on Puck. Like, he's looking really strong on Dendi. His HP is not too high, but that's because he's running Mystic Staff and Power Tread's Intelligence. He knows he won't die. He's feeling very confident.
It's just basically racking up the mana pool. See, look at that.
51 Something happened in 2013 that just made everyone want to kill those couriers.
They became so much more adorable that everybody wanted to look at them. And then, well, it's just like cats on YouTube. You love them, but you hate them at the same
Radiant's
time.
top tower is under attack.
Exactly.
Well, you don't really hate them. You can't hate cats on YouTube.
Well, one thing that's going the way of Na'Vi is the fact that
Radiant's
there's no
top tower
farm
is under
at
attack.
all on basically anyone. Like, they don't even have mech yet on Orange. They have a soulmate Tide who
they're
hasn't
building
even
into it.
managed to get up a mech. Na'Vi are just controlling this game so perfectly.
Short by such a long way too, and I say a long way because like there's not a lot of money on the field. Speaking of money, like K-pop just put the stat up before. It's like you look over towards Mushi, and like Mushi's only now got 1 point up in Greevil's
They
greed.
see Havos gonna try and go for him. Fiend's Grip.
Havos, there's a lot of heroes there, man. And Dandy with a dream call, caught 3 out. Havos, he should go down right now. Armlet toggle, he gets away. He actually gonna come back in again? No. Havos, be happy with the fact you live.
Then he saves him.
Oh, Prophet! Ohio! He's TPing out! What? He couldn't one-hit him! Oh! He just instantly said overcommitment.
Yeah.
That's possibly the quickest withdrawal I've seen. And Funnick will now attack the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane with the creep wave already there. It's not going to be enough. I think now Na'Vi want to look towards Roshan instead. But tier 2 tower is easy enough to pick up when they got all 5 players down there, so they may as well. But Orange, with no Fiend's Grip available and no mech yet, they won't want to fight yet.
They can't contest this. Like, they need mech because everyone
Dire's
simply
bottom
dies to
tower
spells of
is
Puck and Riptide. Everyone just dies by the
Dire's
area of
bottom
effect by
tower
Na'Vi.
is falling.
Na'Vi gonna head in to this Roshan. It's probably no secret at all as they take the bottom tier 2. It's very, very normal at Radiant to just head in towards this Roshan if it's up at this point in the game.
Especially when they got as much damage as they do. We also see a Force with a full S&Y. Not on himself just yet. That courier is sitting in, well, a ravine. Or perched in a tree right now.
He's resting.
Yeah, just resting, pining for the fields. And there goes Roshan. Aegis Immortal will be claimed. And it goes the way of Horst. And then they call the line. The line is drawn straight away by Koro. Go top lane, push it out, and get that tier 2 tower. Then he came up here, but he came up inside of a smoke, and now he's going to realize that no one's left here on the top lane. They might see if they can find someone on top of the tier 2 tower, but they won't be successful.
Yeah, and with Na'Vi pulling so far ahead, we see Dandy now up to 1900 gold. I want to see if he's going to go for a full Hex or if he just realizes that he's going to go for a Shivas as they're so far ahead. The AoE damage is already almost killing off an entire of Orange.
Yep.
He might just go into that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Shivas.
And that would also mean that he would have 20 armor if he picks that up.
Mushi got to be really careful. Funnick, they're actually bringing the surprise inside, but that Sentry Ward sees him. And that's why Mushi getting back. The bugs will fly, and they'll latch up on both Mushi, not KYXY as well, though. They're not
want
going
to.
in. Yeah, they want to, but what they want to do and what is practical is two very different things with Na'Vi.
Sometimes, but they make it work in this game.
They're all grouping back up in the mid. Well, almost everybody. Denny's just taking that tier 2 tower solo on the top lane. Prophet Ultimate will slow him down a little bit, but there's a new creep wave coming in anyway. In fact, Denny should be taking up that tower a little bit more so he can keep that catapult alive.
He needs some help just taking on this tower, so he's going to get help from Kuroki, it would seem, or he's just going to stand around.
Speaking of Kuro, he just picked up his mech.
Yeah, entire mech now finished up for Na'Vi as well. That's going to help them a lot in this push if they want to crack base against Orange. But we're looking at almost a 20,000 gold and experience lead now in 22 minutes.
Ohio is trying to intercept the creep wave. He's fielding a push to the tier 3 tower coming on this top lane. That's why he's just grabbing it halfway through, and then you see how quickly again.
And that's a Hex completely finished up on Puck.
Oh, that's a lockdown now. We were talking about the possibility of the fact like Puck needed a good start, needed a Blink Dagger to make Prophet fear, even just TPing outside of his base. Like, Prophet's split push is great, but he can't TP onto the lanes themselves because Na'Vi's all over them. So the other place like TP is like halfway down here where no one's going to be looking for you.
Look
And
at
then intercept the creep
CS,
wave.
100 out of 10. That describes his play.
Nice.
We hear the
Hearing
BKB
something-
bomb.
yeah. It's Phoenix BKB, and Ned just realized Fiend's Grip is completely useless then. And Avors comes in, open wounds on Ned. Nightmare tries to save him from the damage. Promenade goes through, brains up quickly, couldn't do it in time. And now Avors wants to go deeper, but with Rage wearing off, he can't come into the range of the Tide Ravage.
We still have Infest available, and Aegis still up on Lifesteal. But they're gonna push on this tower, I feel. They Infest, gonna try and go for a kill if anyone from Orange come near.
They got no Fiend's Grip anyway. They know BKB is at least down for Funnick and the Rage if they get the timing right. They won't have to deal with that one. But with this Aegis up on the lifesteal, like, even if they do get the kill, it won't be enough. Funnick, whoa, low on life. He doesn't have himself an Aegis, the Immortal, let alone a Linken's Sphere to protect himself from the damage coming his way.
He does have that BKB on cooldown still as well. A nice deny by KYXY.
Right under their noses. And in the meantime, Ohio's been pushing out that top lane as far out as he can possibly get it. Na'Vi haven't taken a Rax yet, they've just taken the towers, but you know what's going to happen. This. Straight up to high ground. Then he's trying to, well.
Yeah. And he goes.
You think he's going to jump out, and then he Dream Calls and jumps in. Takes out the Leshrac, of course, just basically piggybacking and enjoying the ride.
Just sitting in there saying, yeah, you go, Dandy.
Yep. Moral support, of course, now the mascot of Na'Vi. Since they were little pom-poms and all. And Dendy's going to go in again. Blink Dagger, well, there's your Hex. Up on that, Navors comes out. Ned goes down. KYXY silenced up as well. He's got the Ravage, now he's going to pop, but Navors still raised up, and the BKB up on Funnick. Leshrac, even as he comes out of his base, will die almost instantly. GG is the call.
GG.
24 minutes, 30 seconds. Na'Vi hit back very, very strongly up against Orange. Taking out game number 2 and forcing us to a third game and final decider to see who will face up against Alliance in the grand final.
And fast games it is. We don't even see heading into the late game, and so aggressive. All these kills. 39 kills in 24 minutes.
Yeah, that's... is that the most amount of kills we've actually seen in a game here, or as far as like time goes?
At least very high.
Either way, it's the most we've been seeing, and it's been an amazing game so far. Of course, I cannot wait for game number 3. What I can't actually wait for is going to be the panel members to see what they had to say about this as well. We haven't actually been told they're good to go just yet, so we assume they're like, yeah, there'll be tons of time.
They probably
left.
don't want the mic or the cam.
No, because James hates appearing on camera.
He does. He's kind of shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's James.
He tries to stay in the background.
That he does,
That's
man.
why he's in the back.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. We keep at the front, at the back. Yeah, man.
It's in the back. This is the front.
Yeah, that it is. Man, Na'Vi, I can't believe though. I cannot believe that you.
They're so strong.
Yeah.
They lose the first game and then they just go crush the second game. And now we're gonna see in the third game, does Orange have what it takes? Does Na'Vi have what it takes? First game, I thought that, okay, Orange, they have a really strong commanding lead.
Yep.
But now, Na'Vi with this game, it's about whether Orange can keep it up and do what they did in the first game.
Man, I hope they do. For me, like I love watching Orange play. I love their coordination. Oh, yeah. I'm kind of wanting them to see go down a different line though. Like the Tide under Solo, I haven't seen it being that successful so far throughout this competition. Maybe game 3, we'll find out. Now we go to the panel.
So then Na'Vi come out swinging in game number 2 and take the victory, taking us up to a 1-1. I've got lots of notes about the game, but I think also Na'Vi played great, but I have to say Orange were very kind of stuttery and hesitant in some of their team fights and decision making. They hurt themselves a lot more than Na'Vi sometimes beat them.
And I think it started right from the get-go. We've been praising Extinct a lot, especially for his Chen and his Visage play, but his Leshrac was really not up to par this game. They lost the first blood and another kill because he missed a stun. And again, when they got back in the lane, he missed yet another stun, and that really cost him big time. I think that was the most grave mistake that just formed the game from there.
Yeah, the tri-lane was hugely important for both teams, and as you mentioned, that did happen. Ben, what was relevant to you?
I don't particularly like Mushi in the carry role. I think he really sets the pace of the game for Orange. If he's on a farmer hero like Alchemist, they don't really have too many heroes moving around making plays happen, and here we get a look at the triple lane. I think when Mushi is in mid instead of the Tide Hunter, then he put out so much pressure on Dendy from level 1, from level 2, but Alchemist, he needs a Midas or Battle Fury, that's usually the typical build, or Shadow Blade until they start fighting, and you don't want to start taking fights 15-20 minutes in against Na'Vi. They needed to do what they did in game 1 and just constantly take a lot of fights. Also, they were really ultimate dependent. They had KYXY with the Ravage, really long cooldown, the Fiend's Grip on the Vayne, but a hero like Lifestealer and Crystal Maiden, they're just good to go. Weaver too, they can just constantly throw out pressure, and that's why we saw so many kills. And Na'Vi really abused the fact that they were so, their team fight was so dependent on the Ravage.
Yeah, and Bruno, I want to come to you. I've got my rambles in a bit.
Rumbles?
I got rambles, yeah, because you know I made notes and stuff. I've not got a stat book. I've got a
Okay.
strat book.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna publish it.
Can I get a copy?
Yes.
Thank you. I feel this is kind of a revenge for Kuroki. He also picked Naga Siren only once in this tournament so far. That was in the loss versus Orange in the quarterfinals of the upper bracket. That was the game where nothing was working for Na'Vi at all. They had also Mirana on Fanic, and Hvos was playing the the Weaver. Didn't work for them. Right now they got the Naga Siren, but they adjusted their picks. I think there were a few, I would say, premature ravages from Tidehunter, a little bit of panic from the side of Orange. KYXY. I'd rather see him in heroes that have a little bit more impact. Again, the Weaver, we saw the Slardar. Maybe this initiator role is more suited for someone like Net or Extinct. And
Are you serious though? Because who was playing the Magnus last night?
Yeah, it was KYXY.
So I mean, he's either hit or miss with that hero,
Yeah,
because
I
we
mean,
saw him with an RP yesterday as well.
But you can compare a hero like Tidehunter and the Magnus because, yeah, they both have a very good ultimate. But with Tidehunter, you just walk in and pass.
It wasn't that good of a pick, though. I don't think.
Yeah,
like,
I think
Lifestealer doesn't care about Ravage, and Puck. We saw Denny face shift a couple of them too.
It was for the Weaver, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because the Tidehunter, if you do manage to hit a decent Ravage on the Weaver, he's pretty low HP throughout the whole, up until the mid stage of the game anyway. You can actually pick him off pretty
Why
quickly.
didn't they just use something like Slardar, like they used early in the tournament, though?
I think that could have been great, but
Yeah.
It was actually what they did in the game 1. They won against
Exactly.
Na'Vi in the upper bracket, was that they had the Tidehunter against Na'Vi's Weaver, and they won that game. But in this game, I still feel the draft wasn't as equal as it was in that game. They had a Puck and a Lifestealer, and there's nothing better than a Puck Nags Bomb. It's just one of the best combos in the game early on.
And yeah, you're right. It was Na'Vi actually had a Tidehunter, and they went up against Orange Esports Weaver, and they did beat Orange. So maybe Orange were looking to kind of
And the
send
other
it
way
back
around.
their way. Yeah, send it back
It
their
doesn't work versus Lifestealer.